Questions to follow, so we will begin with opening statements from Jack Hayes. Mr. Hayes.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope that clears up a little bit. I always thought I would like to start off one of these with like a good morning Vietnam like Robin Williams did, but I never could roll it off, especially not this morning. Anyway, I'm running for county executive. I spent 33 years with the state police, and many of you picture getting stopped on the side of the road and getting a ticket. The state police is a full-service agency, and as a station commander, I had a patrol area of 400 square miles and supervised 15 troopers and schedules, fleet operations, leases for buildings, and interaction with town and county and federal officials. As a zone sergeant, we had the responsibility to help supervise 2 counties, Ulster and Greene. As an emergency management troop staff member, I interacted and coordinated with 5 counties, Rockland, Orange, Ulster, Greene, and Sullivan. It's more than just traffic tickets at the side of the road. As town supervisor in Gardner, we ushered in a renaissance that changed the entire makeup of the way our garden was run. It was a sleepy little, we always did it like that type of operation, and we transformed it into a very vibrant and up-to-date government. As Ulster County Legislature, I was involved with some difficult challenges when we were passing along and trying to figure out what to do with the senior center. So I've been involved in the thick of many of the transitions that Ulster County has gone through. I feel confident that I can lead Ulster County and give you good government. There's no silver bullet. I'm not going to tell you that I have the silver bullet that's going to solve all our problems. I really believe the problem solving is going to come from you. You're the people that will do the input that will help us find our economic stability. Thank you very much.
3 minutes, Mr. Ryan. Okay, we move to questions, 2 minutes, and again, we'll be timed by our great friends from the League of Women Voters. Let's begin with something that's very important to a lot of folks in this room in tourism and hospitality. Tourism spending in Ulster County is approaching $600 million a year. As county executive, what would you do to improve and bolster Ulster County's tourism promotion efforts? And we'll start with Mr. Hayes and then Mr. Ryan. Mr. Hayes, step here.
We have a great tourism situation, and it's diverse. We have agriculture, tourism, and we have a very strong fall market where we get a group of people that come up and shop our farm stands for almost 3 months. I believe some farmers are making most of their yearly income at that time. We also have the locations related to farming, like the Angry Orchard, which draws in a lot. Not only does the Angry Orchard draw in individual people, it has created a situation where we have a market for apples. Some of the apples that are not so cosmetically pleasing to the market as a point of purchase, but we get to use these apples where we had once lost that market to Chinese imports. There's so much to talk about. It's almost impossible to talk about it in 2 minutes, but we have hiking, we have rail trails, we have just the glorious views of the views and watching the leaves change is another whole market. I think that will just grow exponentially as many other things are growing in Ulster County in an incremental way. Thank you. The legislature, policy and budget, two parties. I've worked with somewhat of a third caucus in my day in the legislature. I've worked with both Republicans and Democrats, where we had differing opinions from possibly the two end sides. We came together in the middle, and I worked with Sue Zimmett and Mary Shealy, who were both Democrats, and we collaborated to we didn't collude, we collaborated, and we found a consensus. And I think consensus is what we need for governing. We need to pull people together, stop the divisions, maybe reduce some of the tensions between the different parties and branches of government. I wish to have a more open dialogue with everyone, whether it be the legislature or the people on the street or other county executives, Steve Newhouse, Mark Molinaro. We have to address many issues in the future, and I believe we've got to do it on a regional basis, solid waste being one of them. So I think we need to pull together regardless of political parties. Thank you.
Jack, you can stay here. This one goes to you first. So this question is really tell us a little bit more about yourself. What makes you uniquely qualified, in your opinion, to be county executive? Jack will go first.
I've been a team builder most of my life, starting with Boy Scouts as a patrol leader, and then going on to explorers. In the Navy, I was in charge of the after firearm. If you don't keep steam on a Navy ship, you sink. So we made sure we had steam. Same with the state police, the same with the towns of Gardner. Town of Gardner, we had 5 different parties. We had Republican, Conservative, Democrat, Independents, and something called the Save the Rural Roads Party. It was difficult to reach consensus at times. It was difficult to get 3 votes. That's what you need to pass legislation. We did it. We had a phenomenal 2 years, and the next 10 years worked off the 2 years that the board I was on. It wasn't an I, there's no I in team. It was 5 of us. We made it work. We brought Gardner into the 20th century. That's what I will do here. I'll build teams, I'll build consensus. Thank you. Short-term revenues. We have a revenue decrease. We're probably looking at limited funds from the state. That's going down. We got some challenges. I'm very happy that Adele is here because she has kept the lid on Ulster County for many years. And I'm not saying that Michael hasn't either. Michael's a wonderful guy. I've dealt with him on many, many levels, and he's done a superb job. What else is wrong? Solid waste. We have to come up with a solution. We're closing Seneca Meadows in 2025. When the waste backs up, we don't work. We don't function. It should be an essential service. I would work to make sure it is, so that we have a way of disposing. That's critical. I want to focus on Weston, Southern. I want Ellenville and Wawarsing to come out of the depression it's been in for so long. We have to deal with opioids. I was speaking to a wonderful lady who lost her brother last week, died of opioid abuse, overdose. We can't have this. This has just got to stop. Thank you.
Okay, so Jack, we'll start with you on this question. It's an economic development question for Ulster County. What is your position on the proposed Kingstonian project in Kingston?
Kingstonian project is probably one of the most vibrant initiatives we've seen in the Kingston area in 20 years. Between the services of the retail, the parking, the jobs to build it, the jobs to continue it, it's something we need more of. I was at the public hearing the other night at the City Hall. There's some strong feelings on both sides of this issue. And I understand both sides of those people. I've spoken with people about affordable housing, and I realize the stress of not being able to live in a decent house. I believe the Kingstonian is going to bring to us economic benefits that will help other people who are less advantaged come up to levels of decent, affordable housing. So in a sense, it's a mixed bag, but it's a very, very positive one, and we need to see more of it. I think we need to get the input from the people about affordable housing in the beginning of projects and tailor certain projects to more affordable housing rather than market rental housing. Thank you. It's not strange that we're not too far apart in how we would address this. When you do incident command or any type of command, you've got to walk in and make an assessment. So you've got to find out what you've got, what your strengths are, what your inventory is, what your liabilities are. So that would come off the top. I would come out with an executive order that would say, I want an open line of communications between myself and all departments. There will be, never again, will there be a gag rule with regard to department heads speaking to legislators and openly coordinating so that we can both develop a budget on the legislative side and on the executive side. We have to address the shortfall. We have a shortfall. We know we have a shortfall. We've got to figure out how we want to address that, what the best avenues of doing that are. Adele has started that already. We're looking at ways to hold on to what we have and be prepared for where the cuts may come. It doesn't seem like if, it seems more like when. So I would be looking to make sure that we're prepared when the when comes, so that we're able to, get through the storm. There'll be a little storm. So just another note in come back. Have 2 rescue cats too, Shadow and July, and a new grandson, April 3rd, Declan Joseph. Thank you.
Okay, Jack, we'll start with you on this one, and it has to do with the payments in lieu of taxes pilots. Lots of discussion about it in Ulster County particularly, and we want to know your position on it. How do you feel about pilots in general for new and expanding businesses? Jack?
That's a good question. That's been bounced around quite a bit, and we've found that a lot of people feel that they're being shortchanged, especially people in the community that say, well, why aren't they paying their fair share of taxes? If it all works out well, if a development that we gave the pilot to works out well, there's usually no ongoing problem. When it doesn't work out well, the community has just subsidized private industry, and they're not happy. And a lot of people are going, as Patrick said, paycheck to paycheck. They really can't afford to lend corporate people money. That said, you're all business. We need to grow business. We are growing business. We are doing what we're supposed to be doing. We need to do a little bit more. We need to do it at a little bit higher level. But we're on the right road. Make no mistake, what you folks are doing is where it's at. John Kennedy said, ask not what your government can do for you, ask what you can do for your government. You're doing it. You're providing the impetus for growth. And you're the ones that are going to come up with the solutions. And I'm going to speak to you about solutions all the time. We're going to figure out, we're going to have task force, and we're going to find out how to fix the areas that need fixing and how to grow the ones that are working well. Thank you.
So done properly, tax incentives work. We absolutely.
Jack, closing comments.
Time went by fast, didn't it? The Ulster County Film Commission is going to come in, bring into the county $30 million this year. That's your model. This group came, there was $5 million 6 or 7 years ago, grew to 6, 8, $30 million. They didn't come to me to help. In fact, a lot of people don't like too much government help. They did it by themselves. And I don't want to keep being repetitious, but you have the answers. You're smarter than I am with regard to commerce. You've gotten past the 5-year mark where businesses go down the tubes. You have the answers. I'm going to be looking to you for the answers. And I would appreciate a really robust input from you, because that's how we're going to make Ulster County a wonderful, it is a wonderful place. We're going to make it a more wonderful place. So I don't think I have much more to say. I really appreciate your warm hospitality. It's been very enjoyable spending the morning with you, and we'll have to do it again sometime.